Hello everybody, welcome back. This has been a lot of videos uploaded on my channel today. This is a pick'em. As you've listened to NFL Preview 1 beforehand, I said there was going to be a pick'em, and this is at most game put up 2 hours before kickoff. Don't know when exactly, but it's going to be up there beforehand. So, we have a lot of things to talk about, we have a lot of games to pick, and we also have a parlay of the week. Each of us are going to give you a parlay to go bet money on if you want to listen to us, which, hey, maybe you do. Maybe you want to make some money, and if you don't listen to us, maybe you just don't want money after all.
Or maybe they're smart.
Hey, don't downplay yourself, even though you lost money last week. I'm really selling this. Uh, let's start off with the opening game of the season, Lions at Chiefs.
I'm still gonna go with the Chiefs.
The Chiefs, there are question marks if Kelsey's going to play. Chris Jones is pretty much ruled out. I still can't pick against him on banner night. It's just a rule. You pick the team that's raising the banner. So I'm picking the team that's raising the banner. Give me the Chiefs. To start off Sunday, and because I'm scoring this off my NFL app, 49ers at the Steelers.
Oh wow. Okay, so yeah, okay, we're switching up. So 49ers at the Steelers. This is my upset of the week. I'm going with the Steelers.
I'm a homer pick, and I'm picking for the Steelers to win week 1, so I'm happy and not depressed. Realistically, though, I do think they can pull off the upset, even though I don't know how they're the underdogs at home. They are. I don't think this is the same 49ers teams last year, and let's not forget, the 49ers do not start the season off right. They will lose games early. And with a new offense line they're working in against the Steelers' front seven, there's probably going to be some struggles there.
Yeah, they do have a lot of new players on that line.
Yep, congratulations. Your first start this season is against TJ Watt. Baptism by fire. So now it's time to go to the Panthers at the Falcons, and this is one of the few games I know we're going to disagree on.
Uh, yeah, probably. I took the Falcons.
I took the Panthers, and this is a game you can flip a coin on. My ultimate decision to take the Panthers is I like their defense more, and I do not like Ritter. Maybe Bijan can shut me up, and that's very, very possible.
I like what the Falcons brought in into the secondary this year. They brought in, Jesse Bates. They also have a pretty good pass rush, and they're just going to run the ball.
Yeah. Well, now it's time to move on to Texans Ravens, and I wish I could pull off the upset here, but it's the Ravens.
I'm with the Ravens as well.
Yeah, there's not much to really break down there. The Ravens are just the better team. In a couple years, this could be a game the Texans win because it is a lot of young talent. Maybe they pull off a little bit of upset, but I doubt it. Bengals at the Browns, and the Bengals started off 0-2 last year. That's something a lot of people don't remember. Do you think the Bengals get off to a rough start this year, or do you think they handle the Browns?
I believe that Joe Burrow is going to be starting, and I think that they are going to win.
Yeah, the reason why the Bengals got off to a rough start last year was because they messed with their offense. I don't know why. They switched it back, and what do you know? Burrow was awesome. The offense couldn't be stopped. Give me the Bengals. I do think Myles Garrett will get himself some plays, but ultimately it's just hard to cover T. Higgins, Jamar Chase, Tyler Boyd, and whoever else they want to put on the field because they can put whoever they want and they will beat you. Jaguars at the Colts. This is maybe one of the easiest give me games of the week. I'm a Gator homer. I'm an Anthony Richardson homer. I'm not a blind idiot, though. Give me the Jaguars.
Well, since I said the Jags were, going to be in the AFC title game, and you said that they were going to win the Super Bowl, I think we both better just take the Jags this week.
Seems safe. Bucks at the Vikings. And do you think this is a game the Bucks can maybe surprise people with? Because they're very not projected to be good.
Well, let's face it. One of the things that the Vikings struggled with last year was in the secondary, right? And what do the Bucks have? They've got weapons. So Um, I think that there is a outside chance that the Bucks can come out with this game in hand, but I'm going with the Vikings.
Same. It's hard to pick against it. This is one of the close games because as you can tell, there's a lot of gimme games of the week. There's not much to debate on. Titans at Saints this week. Who do you got?
I took the Saints. Once again, I have more faith in Derek Carr. I like Olave, and I like their defense. So I took the Saints.
So I'm leaning Saints and I'm going to take them, but I will say this. This is the right time to pick on the Titans. If you want to bet on the Titans, this is probably the time because they're healthy right now. If they suffer a couple injuries, you don't take them. Now they're healthy. They have a good starting lineup. The depth behind it is not good at all. I'm worried about one injury happening during the game that can just tilt the side to the Saints. I'm not high on the Saints. I'm not high on the Titans. That being said, the Saints at least have some depth. If something were to go wrong in this game, they can recover. Although that being said, I don't know if Taysom Hill is the quarterback I want to play after Jake Keener got suspended. Yep. Cardinals at Commanders. Commanders?
Yeah, yeah. If you have a Survivor League this year, just pick against the Cardinals.
So now we got Packers at the Bears.
This is one of the games that I struggle with the most. You know, I'm not a huge Jordan Love believer. I didn't actually think he played all that well in the last preseason game of the season, considering.
Hey. That's not what the Packers announcer said. Give them some credit.
Since he was going up against a bunch of second and third stringers and even some fourth stringers. That being said, I'm still not 100% sure that the Bears are going to be able to put everything together. I like the Packers' weapons more, so I'm going to go with the Packers.
So I'm going to disagree with you here. And the reason why I am is this game means so much to the Bears. This does not mean as much to the Packers. Does this game matter to the Packers? Yes. There was going to be a lot of emotion in that stadium. Those are going to be people that are going to be pulling so hard for the Bears to beat the Packers. Finally, they got away from Aaron Rodgers. They can finally beat them. They have their quarterback they're happy with. They have some tools on defense. Their offensive line is improved. Their receiving group is improved. I think all these things are leading to a recipe that the Bears do beat the Packers week 1.
The one thing I will say is I think this game means a lot to the Packers as well.
That's fair.
Because I mean, they just let a 4-time MVP basically walk out the door, right? And so if they don't come out and show against a team that they've owned for 20 plus years, 30 years,
my entire life.
Yes, it could be signaling the end of the dominance in the NFC North.
Yeah. And when I say the Bears are going to have improve, I think they're going to do a lot of trick plays because they're preparing all offseason to do tricky stuff with Justin Fields. Now it's time for Raiders-Broncos, the boring game of the week, and God help you if you decide to watch this game.
I picked the Broncos.
Same. Don't want to talk about it. Now, Dolphins at the Chargers. This is probably the last.
Moving on.
Probably the last disagreement we'll have if I'm a guess, betting man. I got the Chargers. New offense. Knew a lot of things in LA. They beat the Dolphins last year. I just think this is a team that's just going to come out and just put up a lot of points. This is going to be a high-scoring game. I don't think anyone's going to say this is going to be a defensive masterclass. This is going to be a high-scoring game. Bet the over on this. Take your money. Give me the Chargers.
I'm going to take the Dolphins for a lot of the reasons why you said. At least this week Tua is healthy, and I like the acquisition for the Dolphins defense. I think he's going to bring up
Fangio to be exactly correct.
I think he's going to matter. Yes, Fangio. I think he's going to matter more than everybody is thinking he is, and so I'm on that bandwagon.
Okay, now it's time for the Matt Patricia revenge game. The Eagles at the Patriots.
I'm taking the Eagles.
Does knowing the Eagles have Matt Patricia on the coaching staff make you question them a little bit?
No, still taking them.
So this is something, and I want to give a quick shout out to Brett Coleman real quick because I saw he posted something. What was the one game the Eagles offense struggled with a lot last year? The one game that they just got kind of shut down offensively. They still won it, but they struggled mightily.
No, I'm not, I guess I don't know.
So this is from Brett Coleman's Twitter account, and I didn't realize this until he said it. The Eagles' worst offense game last season came against the Colts of all teams. 17 total points, just over 300 total yards, only 2 red zone appearances, and had 2 turnovers. The Colts played cover 1 in absurdly high 53% of the time, and it worked. What does Belichick play a lot? He plays a lot of cover 1, which leads me thinking this game is going to be a lot more low scoring than people think. I'm still taking the Eagles, but it's not by a whole bunch. I think this is going to be a field goal type game down to the wire. Okay, now time for the Rams Seahawks. And I know you're dying to pick the Rams here, right?
No, I'm picking the Seahawks. Ironically, I did listen to a podcast this evening, and there was a Ram media guy as a special guest, and he thinks that the Rams are going to be 11-6 this year.
What's he smoking? I want some. That's some good stuff. That's some good stuff. That's good quality.
I'm not sure, but I'm not buying into it, at least this week. So I'm going to pick the Seahawks.
Flip the record. That's what they'll be. Give me the Seahawks, especially with Cooper Kupp being out. Now time for Sunday Night Football. America's team, Dallas Cowboys versus New York Giants. And why this game again for Sunday Night Football? We had a couple year stretch that this was not the opening Sunday night game. At least there was another team in there against Dallas. But nope, Giants were good last year, so time to go back to Old Faithful. Yeah, give me the Cowboys. I don't think this game's close.
I'm going to take the Cowboys as well.
Now time for Bills-Jets. A lot of new shining faces in New York. Aaron Rodgers, Dalvin Cook, Alan Lazard. I couldn't say the last one with a straight face. Do you take the Jets or do you take the established Bills?
I'm taking the Bills.
Same. Taking the Bills as well. And because we had an odd number of disagreements, no need for a point total. So what is your parlay for this weekend of football?
All right, here, let me get into this real quick. I am less adventurous than Jordan is, and so
make it sound like that's a bad thing.
I didn't say that, but I guess more of a sure thing. I hate point spreads. Last year, I bet point spreads with the Bills a lot and lost. So this week, money line taking the Commanders over the Cardinals, taking the Ravens over the Texans, and you can honestly, I think you can either go point spread or money line. But since I said we're just going to do the money line, I'm going to take the Jacksonville Jaguars. I think right there you can do the point spread as well. But I'm going to do the Pittsburgh Steelers. And then I'm only going to do one more, and I'm going to do the Seahawks. So on that parlay, if you do that, you go with $20. Return is $316.
That's not bad at all.
No, not bad at all.
So, as said, I'm a bit more of a risk it person. So I'm going to give you a $20 parlay that can pay out for $900. Does that sound good for you? And these are all point spreads. All point spreads. Carolina Panthers at plus 3.5. I don't think the talent gap's big enough for me to say the Falcons will win more by a field goal. Jacksonville Jaguars minus 4.5. I think they're going to be the clear-cut favorite. They're probably going to blow the Colts out pretty fast in early that game. Your only concern would be maybe a backdoor cover would come in and hurt you. The Vikings at minus 5.5. I know the Vikings played a lot of one-score games last year. That being said, I can't see the Bucs staying competitive with them in this game for a long period of time. Eventually, sooner or later, Justin Jefferson, Alexander Mattison, Jordan Addison, they have so much talent on offense, the game will be split open. Steelers, I picked them to win at plus 2.5 at home. The Steelers have won both their home openers in back-to-back years, not in Pittsburgh, but overall, which they beat the Bills and the Bengals, two Super Bowl contenders. And I think the 49ers are not as good as those two teams were in the years they beat them. And then I had the Bengals at minus 2.5 against the Browns. I'm getting pretty much a field goal. I can win more by a field goal. Give me that. Evan McPherson's a good kicker. Let alone, I'm taking Joe Burrow. And lastly, I'm taking the Seahawks minus 5.5. Cooper Kupp not being healthy for the Rams is a big concern for me for their offense in general. I don't like it with him healthy. I hate it with him hurt. There's not enough receivers in that rotation for me to have a lot of faith in them. And you also look at their running game. They've never been able to commit to Cam Akers. They're going to be forced to this year. And if they're not really trusting him, I'm not going to trust him. I think that game's a blowout for Seattle's favor. And as I said, you bet $20 in that parlay, it'll pay out for over $900.
It's not too shabby. I'm still going to be a chicken.
Yeah, well, you got to risk it for the biscuit. That's going to do us for this week. Come back next week. Don't know exactly what we'll be talking about. We'll have a pick'ems. We'll have some stuff. That'll be figured out during the weekend of football with what we'll be talking about. But everyone, have a good day. Win some fantasy football matchups. Make some money betting some football games. And enjoy football.